Good afternoon. My name is David Grothus, and I wrote something I think you'd find very important to hear. This involves the Kate Steinle case. I wrote this January 13th, 2017. The foundation for the liability and responsibility of the death of Kate Steinle. Number one, the preamble to the Constitution states, "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." Every elected leader and public employee must adhere to the Constitution at all times. Failure to enforce the Constitution is a breach of a legal duty. Number one, establish justice. Number two, ensure domestic tranquility. Number three, provide for the common defense. Number four, promote the general welfare. Number two, Section 8, verse 15 of the Constitution, to provide for the calling forth the militia to execute the laws of the Union, to suppress insurrections and repel invasions. Article 4, Section 3 of the Constitution. Treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them, or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. No person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimony of two witnesses to the same overt act, or on the confession in open court. Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution. The United States shall guarantee to every state in the Union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature. A, shall protect each state against invasion. B, the chief executive or president is to enforce the Constitution. Article 6, Section 2 of the Constitution. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made, or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. All judges in every state at every level must adhere to every word in the Constitution. Article 6, Section 3 of the Constitution. The senators, representatives before mentioned, and members of the state legislatures, and all executive and judicial officers of the United States shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution. A, the executive officer, who is the president, is bound by the Constitution. B, senators are bound by the Constitution. C, representatives are bound by the Constitution. D, legislatures are bound by the Constitution. E, judicial officers are bound by the Constitution. F, FBI agents are bound by the Constitution. G, CIA officials are bound by the Constitution. H, police officers are bound by the Constitution. I, all public officials are bound by the Constitution. And J, all citizens are bound by the Constitution. Article 2, Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The security of each and every state requires the government to maintain public order. The security of each citizen requires the state and federal government to secure the border. Each public employee is bound by the Constitution. Each government leader is under the Constitution. There is no one in the United States who is not bound by the Constitution. Every citizen has a legal duty to obey and uphold the Constitution at all times. Any person who actively refuses to submit and obey the Constitution has committed an insurrection. Any person who violates their legal duty to uphold, defend, and promote the general welfare of the people is an insurrectionist. Individuals who violate their legal duty can be fired or impeached or put in jail for the breach of duty. Negligence of a legal duty is a violation. To fail to perform your legal duty when it is a requirement under the Constitution is a violation of the Constitution, and you have become an insurrectionist. In conclusion, The president is bound by the Constitution at all times. The governor is bound by the Constitution at all times. Mayors are bound by the Constitution at all times. Sheriffs are bound by the Constitution at all times. Police officers are bound by the Constitution at all times. Citizens are bound by the Constitution at all times. Any person who fails their legal duty is a violator. To continue to violate the Constitution with hubris and insolence will be met with the full force of the law. Regarding the prosecution of the mayor of San Francisco for failure to enforce federal law. Regarding the prosecution of the sheriff for his failure to enforce federal law. Regarding the prosecution of a land management employee for negligence of duty to secure his firearm. The Supremacy Clause states that federal law supersedes state law. The Constitution is mandatory law. The preamble of the Constitution states, "We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." The President of the United States of America is the executive of the executive branch of the United States government. The President has a sworn duty to obey, defend, and enforce the Constitution of the United States from foreign and domestic dangers. The President has authority to use all able-bodied men to create a militia to repel an invasion. The Governor has authority to call a militia together to repel an invasion. Civil authorities have a duty and legal obligation to maintain public order. Negligence of duty, when that duty is mandatory, is a violation of their responsibility and is a criminal in nature. Willful disregard to maintain and protect and defend public order and safety is a violation of public community safety and order. Any public official who fails to uphold the Constitution, which states repel an invasion, has violated their public duty. Public order and safety is to be maintained by the government at all times. Is domestic tranquility being maintained in California? Is the common defense maintained by public officials? Is justice established for the people of California and the United States? Was the duty breached by the mayor? Was the duty breached by the sheriff? Was the duty breached by the former President Obama? Individuals who trespass into the United States have broken federal law. Individuals who have broken federal law do not have due process rights accorded to citizens. They are illegal and therefore do not have due process rights. Illegals are illegal every day of the week. Citizens have due process rights. Citizens have the right to redress of grievances. The breach of a legal duty involves negligence when that duty is not performed. Failure to enforce federal law is a breach of duty. Releasing an illegal alien from custody is a breach of duty to uphold the Constitution. Failing to provide domestic tranquility in your community is a breach of a legal duty. Failing to provide the common defense is a breach of a legal duty. Aiding and abetting criminal conduct is a criminal offense. Obstruction of justice by failing to detain illegals who have broken federal law is a criminal offense. Public employees have a duty to maintain public order. No one has a right to not follow the law. No one has a right to not follow the Constitution. No public employee has a right to not detain an illegal person. Taxpayers expect public officials to obey the law and the Constitution at all times. Taxpayers are under the Constitution at all times. To repel the invasion is in the Constitution. The President, governors, mayors, sheriff, police officers have a duty to affirm the Constitution every day. The Steinle case in San Francisco. The mayor is negligent for his aiding and abetting illegals to remain in the city without being detained. The sheriff is negligent for not detaining illegals in the city. They are failing to uphold public order. Individuals who have broken the federal law of trespassing are illegal. They have a duty to maintain public order. They have failed their duty and legal obligations as public officials. The mayor and the sheriff have not done their duty. The President of the United States, the former President Obama, was not enforcing federal law. The governor in the state of California right now is not enforcing federal law. The mayor is not enforcing federal law. The sheriff is not enforcing federal law. Who is going to hold them accountable for their dereliction of duty, their obstruction of justice, aiding and abetting illegal aliens, and being an accessory after the fact of criminals who have trespassed into the United States of America? Are they protecting their communities? Are they securing the common defense? The answers are absolutely not. Share this information with your friends. You have a great day, and God bless you.